Hi, Kirill. Nice to see you working so hard. Let's take a look at this new set. Go ahead and select the essays you want, since I know that you've done quite a few essays, and I know you've done some with Daphne as well. So just go ahead and pick the ones that work for you. Let's take a look at what you sent today. We do not know our neighbors. What problems does this cause? What can be done? Okay, so problems and solutions. Fine. So, the issue of the necessity in communication within neighbors in metropolitan cities has grown in importance over the last few decades. This essay will discuss the possible solutions of how to make a better connection between members of the community and why this is important, using examples from the local newspaper report and Russian State University to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay. Let's see. So, first of all, this sentence grammatically had some issues, okay? Let's see. You wrote the issue of the necessity in communication within neighbors. Part of the problem is your prepositions are wrong. So, it's not in communication within neighbors. So, why don't we try fixing that? But maybe we need to make more fixes, okay? So, the issue of the need for communication with neighbors in metropolitan cities has grown in importance. Well, yeah, I guess that works a little bit. Maybe we can change around some of the vocabulary. Let's try it a little differently. The issue of the lack of social connections with neighbors in metropolitan cities has grown in importance. I kind of like that. What do you think? All right, let's move on. Now, take a look at this. You wrote just that the essay will discuss the possible solutions and why this is important. But you didn't mention that you're going to talk about the problems. Remember, this is not just an essay where you're talking about the solutions, but you also have to talk about the problems. So you really should address that in your introduction. Okay? So this essay will discuss the problems caused by this, as well as possible solutions for how to make a better connection between members of the community. And I wouldn't say this at all. I'd get rid of this. Using examples from the from a local newspaper report. What's the difference? Well, you're making it sound like there's only one newspaper report, like there is never another, and you don't want that. You want it to seem like it's one of endless newspaper reports. Okay, so that's it for your introduction. Let's move on. It has been recognized that one of the major issues for citizens living in large cities is a lack of unity. Living in tall buildings with hundreds of flats, seeing different people all over the home area makes it, let's see, it's two different things. Living in tall buildings with tall flats and seeing different people all over the home area, no comma, make it difficult to create communication with neighbors. In this living environment, people cannot rely on each other, and therefore, it provides perfect circumstances for theft and burglaries. To illustrate this, a local newspaper report in Russia stated that 80% of thefts happen in the outskirts, where most of the apartment buildings are located. It must not be forgotten that when people live in small communities and know each other, they usually help neighbors in many ways, such as feeding pets or watering flowers, or purchasing medical supplies when a person is ill. Therefore, it is clear that not knowing neighbors is a real issue for people living in metropolitan cities. Okay, good. Well developed, fine. However, despite the aforementioned problems, there are solutions available. Lovely, perfect. Living in large cities and being familiar with neighbors is easier through social apps such as WhatsApp or Telegram. Is that how you spell WhatsApp? Okay, maybe it is. I thought it was with an H though. Like the word what, Okay. Such as WhatsApp or Telegram, where people can create private chats, share news about their community, and always be up to date. Moreover, neighbors can hold meetings and discuss current problems with the landlord to find common solutions. For example, recent research from Russian State University showed that when owners held meetings within their community, the quality of life in such places increased significantly. Also, authorities should monitor building density in large cities to avoid overcrowded areas and prevent such problems from arising. Thus, it is possible to state beyond doubt that Implementing solutions such as online chats and better planning urban areas can help people to familiarize. Well, you familiarize something with something. So familiarize yourself with something. Okay, that's how we use this. So let's not use the word familiarize and let's say become familiar. So can help people to become familiar with their neighbors and avoid negative consequences. All right, this is really good, Kirill. You're doing really, really well here. All right, let's see. From the arguments and examples given, I firmly believe that living in a large city and not knowing neighbors, you don't need a comma here, may result in serious threats such as theft by taking action. Well, you don't need action and steps. Just pick one by taking action or by taking steps. Either one of those is fine, but together it just becomes, inappropriate. So, by taking action to improve community spaces and implement dialogue between landlord and owners via mobile app. Okay, so take a look at this. You don't need the by here because when you start the sentence with by, you have to change the sentence structure. So let's get rid of it. And also, this doesn't make sense. The landlord and the owners are usually the same person. Okay, so I think you don't mean owners. I think you mean tenants, the people who rent the apartments. So let's fix that too. Taking action to improve community spaces and implement dialogue between landlords and tenants via mobile apps can increasingly improve the situation. All right, it's good. So, yeah, I mean, there were a couple of problems, but as far as the grammar is concerned, I thought you did a lot better today. Definitely an improvement. There were just those little things that we talked about, um certain tweaks, certain corrections that you just have to make to get this to a really high scoring essay. Okay, but I thought it was a good job overall. Let's take a look at the letter to your friend. You went to an event that you think your friend would really like. Let's see what you said. Dear Jack, yesterday I had the privilege to visit the Blink 182 show and I'm so excited to share with you how great it was. All right, you don't visit a show. The correct word here is attend. You attend a show, okay? So it's a little bit of a collocation. And I'm so excited to share with you how great it was. Sean and I had planned to visit the performance, to attend their performance for a long time, and we were glad to see our town on their summer tour schedule. Since you are a fan of their music, albums such as Buddha and Blink 182, famous singles, All the Small Things, and The Rock Show, you'd find the show they played last night one of your favorites. I don't understand that. Ah, okay. I see. You're making a list. All right. So, since you are a fan of their music and you're a fan of albums, all right, it's just not really clear because, music would cover all of this. So why don't we do this? Since you are a fan of their music, especially albums such as this and famous singles, etc., you'd find the show they played last night one of your favorites. Okay, so just tweaking it a little bit to make sure that it's clear to your reader. Can you imagine? They've performed all these hits as well as songs from their new album. This needs some other type of punctuation. Um, I would say it probably wants an exclamation point, even though you started with "Can you imagine?" I don't think this is the most appropriate kind of way to say this. I think something else like an exclamation here would be better. Maybe like and guess what? Or you won't believe it, but I think that would be more appropriate than "Can you imagine?" Okay, so the crowd cheered them and slammed all show long. I don't know what you mean. What do you mean they slam danced the whole night long? All right, maybe you could have said that. They slam danced, but slammed is a little unclear here. Artists joked between songs. So the artists, you mean Blink 182, the band. So they joked. So here you can say the artists joked between songs. So everyone seemed to have a great time. Okay. At the end of the show, they promised to come back in a couple of months and they actually will. On their official website, I saw a confirmed date later this year. Would you like to join us this time? I'm pretty sure we're going to have a great time. Let me know if you're willing to go, and I can't wait to see you soon. Okay. Your friend Adam. All right, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, so I think you did a good job of developing. There's definitely no problems there. It was just some of those little the little awkwardness and the inaccuracies that need a little work. But there's a lot of things that I liked. Again, some of the vocabulary and some of the articles. I think that between the two tasks today, your task 2 was stronger. This had, I think, a number of problems with grammar and especially, I think, this paragraph. Where was it? This one. This one had a number of issues. All right, so just work on that a little bit and go ahead and select your next set of essays, and I'll be waiting. Okay, so good luck.